Erin with Lizzie Knits and Three Birds Yarn Studio, and let's go over the 1x1 Tubular Cast On in the round. And what this is, it's the start of a project where 1x1 ribbing, but you get this nice little rolled edge. It's a nice clean finish and it's stretchy and very cozy. And I'm going to show you on, this is the Trinity Fingerless Gloves pattern. If you do have this pattern that comes with written instructions for this cast on at the back of the pattern, I'm going to go off of there for this tutorial. So if you have this pattern, you can follow along. All right, so let's get started. What you're going to need is double pointed needles. Okay, you're going to have a working needle, and then the cast on is going to be on 3. And a piece of scrap yarn and your project yarn. All right, so basically we're gonna cast on with scrap yarn, and then on the first round we'll add the project yarn. And then after the cast on, there are 5 steps. So let's just dive in. So first for the cast on, this is going, you need to cast on half of the number of stitches that your project calls for. So for this instance, for these gloves, for instance, I need 28 stitches. So I'm going to cast on 14. So I take my project yarn, I do a long tail cast on. You can do any cast on that you'd like. I prefer the long tail cast on. And I do have a tutorial for this cast on as well on this channel if you are unfamiliar. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, and this cast on with the scrap yarn does not need to be perfect because you're going to remove this cast on, this project scrap yarn when we're finished. All right, I cast on half the number of stitches, and now you want to divide these stitches across 3 double pointed needles to get this set up. So 14 is not divisible by 3, so we kind of just do our best. It does not have to be perfectly dispersed. So I'm going to put 5 on one needle. I'll put 5 on another, and that should leave me with 4 on the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I kind of have them roughly dispersed along the 3, and then we want to join in the round. Okay, take your time with this one. So, you know, starting off with double pointed needles could be kind of awkward, and then you got like tails all over the place. So you are not going to use these scrap yarn tails again. So just make sure they're hanging out of the bottom of the project, just out of the way. Okay, and then I say in my tutorial, I'm just reading along, to join the round pass, we want to connect these so they're kind of anchored and they'll stay put. So past the last stitch that we made, that would be this one. I'm going to put this stitch on this needle and then this stitch on that needle. So we're basically kind of just switching them. So I'm going to take this final stitch and slide it onto the left needle. And I'm going to lift this stitch over this one. Okay, but don't lose any stitch. And keep it on the other needle. We're just flip-flopping the first stitch that you made and the last stitch that you made onto the first needle and the last needle. So you can see I didn't lose any stitches. I still have 14 here. We just kind of flipped them. So they're now kind of like mixed together, and my little triangle here is secured. All right, and now we're gonna start step 1 of the actual knitting. Okay, setup is done. You are not going to use the scrap yarn again. Okay, so now step 1, we're going to start knitting with project yarn. I get this little, pull out some project yarn here. Okay, step 1, add project yarn. Okay, add project yarn and knit 1, yarn over. I'm going to take your 4th DPN. Knit 1 and yarn over, and you're going to knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over all 14 stitches or however many you needed. So I'm knit 1, yarn over, and this is how we're going to get to the actual stitch count that we need. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, Take your time too. See, my DPNs are like getting wobbly and flopping all over the place. Knit one, yarn over. So make a note here though. The yarn over, you're still gonna have a yarn over at the end of your DPN when you're going to work with the next DPN. Make sure you don't lose this one, okay, when you're crossing between needles. Keep that yarn over in place. See, I'm kind of like holding it here. Knit one, yarn over. Then we start with this next needle. Knit one, yarn over. Knit one, yarn over. Okay, until the end of the round. Yarn over, knit one, yarn over. Final DPN. See, I don't want to lose that yarn over there at the end of the previous needle. Okay, just kind of be, and then make the knit stitch. Knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, knit one, yarn over, and this wraps up step one. Oh my gosh, I have strings everywhere. You might too. It gets a little messy. That's all right. So let's take a little step here. Let's break to make sure. Okay, it looks like this. I want the tail of my working yarn out of the way. Let's tuck that down into the center, get that out of the way. Get the two tails from the scrap yarn out of the way. All right, just go away. Okay, so the final stitch here for step one is a yarn over. I'm still holding on to it because we're gonna start step two with the next round, but with your stitch count though, you should now have the correct number of stitches that the pattern called for, okay? We started with half, the yarn over is kind of, then we doubled up, and now we're back to, I have my 28 that I need. Okay, that was just step one. There are 5 steps. Okay, step two. Okay, don't lose that yarn over. I can't stress that enough. Step two is knit one, slip one with yarn in front. Knit one, slip one with yarn in front. Go back to the back, put the yarn in the back, knit one, slip with yarn in front. Knit one, slip with yarn in front. You do this all the way around. I'm gonna pause and get to the end of it. I'm at the end of the step two here, round two, with knit one, slip with yarn in front, knit one, slip with yarn in front. All right, so let's go to step three. Next round is now kind of like the mirror of this. Now we're going to slip one with the yarn in back and then purl one. And then repeat that all the way around. Slip one with the yarn in back, bring the yarn to the front, and purl one. Slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Slip one with the yarn in back, with the yarn in the front, and purl one. All right, let's fast forward this. Finishing up here, slip one with the yarn in back, purl one, slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. All right, step three is completed. We had 2 more steps, so 2 more rows. And steps 4 and 5 are just repeating your previous 2 rows. So we're just gonna do those 2 rounds one more time. So let's go back to, we're gonna repeat the knit one, slip with yarn in front. Slip with yarn in front. Knit one, slip with yarn in front. Okay, finish up step 4 here. Knit one, slip one with yarn in front. Knit one, slip one with yarn in front. Okay. Okay, we just have 1 more round here. This is step 5, and you're going to repeat then step 3. And this one is now slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Okay, slip one with the yarn in back, purl one. Last 2 stitches, slip one and purl one. That is the end of step 5, and we are done with the tubular cast on. Okay, you got this squishy little piece of fabric here. It looks the same on both sides. And then final step, no more knitting, but this is the best part, is you get to take out the scrap yarn. Yay, love this part. Before then you continue on then with the start of your pattern. I kind of just use one of these deep pans to, it gets a little jumbled. That's fine. You can cut the scrap yarn too. There we go, starting to unravel now. But this part is fun because it kind of reveal the nice little cast on edge that you just completed. All right, I won't go through the whole thing, but you can see, you take the scrap yarn out completely and you are left with this nice little rolled edge, and you can continue on with your project. All right, so hopefully you can rewatch that if that seemed like a lot. Remember, 5 steps if you want to make a quick note. In each of the 5 steps, there are 2 stitches that you keep repeating. So it's not that bad. If you want to make yourself a little cheat sheet, that would help too. Steps 1 through 5, you only do a 2-stitch combo. All right, well, happy knitting, everyone.